What's going on, everybody? Red Velvet's back in the studio, and today it is time for the U Sports Chowdown, episode 127. I don't know why I do that with my hands, but it's the 127th episode of the U Sports Chowdown. Happy Monday. Weather's starting to get a little better, a little chilly, but we'll take that. It was very busy this past week in sports around the area. You know, baseball's going, softball's going. U sports are starting to go. It's picking up, and it's going to be a busy sports season. I now have picked up 38, count them, 38 high school baseball and softball teams. I think I got like 10 college, maybe more than 10, maybe 15. Maybe we'll say 15 college baseball and softball teams. So I'm just, yeah. So things are going to be changing a little bit. I'm trying to cover as much as I can. 38 teams, that's a lot. But you know what? We're going to keep having fun with it. Real quick, I'm going to thank the people that make this possible. Thank you to our sponsors. Also, thank you to our subscribers on Facebook. And for 99 cents per month, click that button twice. Doot, doot. You can subscribe to the Diner Podcast, get early access to podcasts, other cool features, and the Diner Pod. All Diner Pod teams for boys basketball are getting ready to drop here soon. So subscribers will get the first look at the first ever boys basketball all Diner Pod teams. So 99 cents per month, pretty smoking deal. Okay. Wednesday, we have a podcast dropping. North Central football coach Nick Wheeler his episode will be released to the public. We talked about a lot of cool stuff, and I can't wait for y'all to hear it. Also, FHSU soccer are looking for 2 more high school kids to play on their team, their travel team. Please, you want to play soccer? At a discounted rate, it's pretty cheap. I mean, I think it's $40. $40 to play soccer. They're going to play several high school club teams. So go on out and play. Go to FHS Soccer. Opening day is Saturday for their rec league team. So it's getting, like I said, it's heating up. That's an old NBA Jam reference. Another community note, the Riley Rebels 14U won the Looney Tunes Showdown. In their division. They are the champs, the Looney Tunes champs, baby. Congratulations to the Riley Rebels. Also, there's a new discus record at Greencastle High School. Ava Williamson shattered a 21-year-old record. Shattered it. She didn't just beat it by a foot or a couple inches. She broke it by almost 15 feet. So congratulations, Ava, on that accomplishment. And then also, Ishmael Kateka is an Indiana All-Star. He'll be playing in the Futures game later this year. They will be taking on, he's representing the South team. They will take on the North. So that is your community notes. Now it's time for our first segment. All right, the first segment, next level athletes. People are like, what are the next level athletes? All right, well, we got the Dinerverse, this mythical universe of high schools and youth clubs that I've talked about and I've created. Athletes then go on to play in the college and pros or coach there too. I follow them up the ladder. So now we have the next level athletes, and we're going to start off in the NBA. Craig Porter Jr., former Terre Haute South Star, plays on the Cleveland Cavaliers. They played 3 games this week. They went 2-1. They lost to the Lakers. I'm going to get started on the Lakers. I'm not a Lakers fan. But they beat the Warriors and the Pacers, and they clinched a berth for the NBA playoffs. Craig Porter played in the Pacers game. He had 5 points and 4 rebounds. And now we're going across the pond. We're going to Ingiskormen in Hungary. Jalen Moore, Cloverdale athlete, plays basketball professionally over there. Ingiskormen took on OSE Lions. OS Lions and Corman wins 97-95. Kyle Foster, the former Howard alumni, led Ingus Corman with 20 points and 3 rebounds. Jalen Moore, though, hot on his heels, 15 points and 9 assists. And then for O's, Rudy Williams, 22 points and 9 boards, former BYU. I don't even know what they are. Okay, now we got college baseball, and we're going to go on to that segment. Start off with ISU. They played 4 games this week. They start off against Purdue, and they beat Purdue. And then they have a 3-game series against UIC, and they go 2-1. Sycamore's winning the first 2, 20-10, 10-3. Nick Sutherlin, Greencastle standout, had 3 hits and 2 RBIs. And then in the final game, the Flames won 17-3. Nick Sutherlin had 3 hits and a ribby. Then we got Vincennes. They took on Southridge, and Southridge won 9-1. Then we got Murray State. Murray State goes 2-2 on the week. They had 2 wins against Belmont and 1 loss to Southeast Missouri and 1 loss to Belmont. Indiana Tech goes 2-0 on the week against Dearborn in a doubleheader. Congratulations, Indiana Tech. IU Kokomo. They dropped both games against Oakland City. Peyton Lear, though, he did crush a 3-run bomb, baby. Former Northview standout right there. And then Huntington splits their series with Goshen College, 1-1. In the first game, Kiefer Wilson had a hit and a ribby. In the second one, he had a 2-run home run. So congratulations, Kiefer. Now we got college softball. St. Mary of the Woods played 2 doubleheaders against Oakland. 4 games, 2 days. It's a lot to do. St. Mary's won the first game 1-0 and then lost the next 3. Bailey Duke came in the clutch in the first game with the lone RBI. Congratulations, Bailey. Caden Bennett went 2-for-4 on Friday. 2 Riverton Park Panthers right there. IU Southeast. They go 2-2 on the week. They had 2 doubleheaders as well. They lost 2 to Lindsey Wilson, and then they beat Shawnee State twice. Lindsey Lightgable went 1-1 in game 1 against Lindsey Wilson. Congratulations to the former Panther. Taylor splits a 2-game series with Spring Arbor. Indiana Wesleyan went 5-0 on the week. Congratulations to Indiana Wesleyan. They defeated Huntington 6-3, defeated Grace in a doubleheader, and defeated Spring Arbor in another doubleheader. Lexi Thompson, game 3, stepped up huge as the pinch hitter, where the Wildcats scored 10 runs. 10! And then Appalachian State, they played Marshall in a 3-game series, going 0-3 on the week. Sophie Moshos threw 7 strikeouts in 2 games, though. So proud of our eel right there. And then Evansville, they go 2-1 for the week. They beat Bella Marine and split against UNI. Kate Ridgway, the former Sullivan Golden Arrow, got the final out against Bella Marine. She struck out 5 batters in game 1 against UNI. That does it for the next level athletes. Now it's time for that varsity special. All right, it's time for varsity special. We're going to start off with baseball. Like I said, we got 38 teams, so I'm switching the format a little bit, kind of a little more essay-ish. I typed a little more. Oh, dropped my pen. Where's my magical pen? I can't reach it. I'm fat. There we go. All right, starting off Terre Haute North. Terre Haute North, man, they were on an absolute tear. They go down to Tennessee and play in some action. They run into a buzzsaw down there. They dropped a wild one to Loretto, 9-7, but Briar Goda, he went deep in that game, drove in 3, and is flat out swinging a hot bat. As a squad, they're hitting a collective 329. Then Terre Haute South, we're going Southtown. The Braves had a tough outing at the Hoosier Classic, dropping a 9-5 game to New Prairie. The South Bats produced some runs, but New Prairie's extra base power was just too much to contain. West Vigo, I want to give them a shout out. They had to pack their bags and head over to Illinois and take on Robinson, and they didn't just win. They pitched a complete masterpiece, a 5-0 shutout on the road. That defense never let the Maroons get on the board and marks 3 straight wins for West Vigo in that rivalry. Now, this was Avon, buddy. They were in a track meet, high-scoring game if you want to get there. They put up video game numbers. They obliterated Clarksville Academy 18-7, then lost in a sprint to Dixon County 14-12, and then turned around and handled Christian County 7-1. Senior Caleb Wessel had already blasted multiple home runs, and Clayton Lenz is running wild on the base paths with 7 stolen bases already. And we're going to go across the state lines, I guess. We're over in Illinois now. The Tigers of Richland County went toe-to-toe against Newton Eagles. We got a Dinerverse matchup right there. Newton took the head-to-head win 7-4. Quincy Fulton, who is hitting somewhere in the 600 range, about 600 right now. He's doing great. Phenomenal. Number 1 player in Illinois. But don't sleep on Richland County. They put up 22 runs on Sinise. I don't know how to pronounce some of the Illinois schools, so sorry. Looking over at Robinson, the Maroons, man, they sit at 4-4. They've taken some tough lumps, if you will. Edwards County, Tuscola, and West Vigo. They've got a solid defensive foundation. As soon as that lineup starts producing some extra base hits, they are going to be right on track. All righty, what's next? We got spinning that compass around the Dinerverse, baby. We got the Monon Conference, the Monon action. Greencastle, they are scary. They're on fire. I can't look at this. They put up 15 runs against Park Heritage, and then they put up 10 runs on Riverton Park. You got to pay attention, dude. Nathan Sutherlin, he went 2 for 3 with a bomb and drove in a career-high 7 RBIs in a single game. Crawfordsville, they win 12-6 over Riverton Park, and then they gave up a tough fight to Zionsville, but the Eagles win. Hey, Zionsville's a tough squad. Crawfordsville, you got nothing to be ashamed of. North Montgomery, they take on Park Heritage. They win 9-2 to start their season out. They had a massive county rival with Southmont coming up, so we'll be watching that one. Now, Cascade, baby. They couldn't quite protect home field in their season opener, dropping 11-3 to the University. But listen, you can't ignore T.J. Turner. Kid went 1 for 3 at the plate and blasted a home run with 2 RBIs. Like I said, keep your eye on him. Now we're going south of I-70. Going to Clay City, the Eels took a tough road loss to Bar Reeve 14-1. Dalen Keller managed to squeeze in an RBI for Clay City. It just wasn't their day. We just don't have our days sometimes. They're hungry, though, and they'll be going up against North Davies here soon. While we're on the road, while we're on mentioning of North Davies, man, rolled out the red carpet for their home opener and absolutely put on a clinic. They blew past WRV 15-2. Wow. Fancy. Now we're going to Sullivan. I'm going to get my geographicals better, I promise. But we're in Sullivan now. Golden Arrows, baby. They're on fire. They're sitting at 3-0. Jaden Norris, he pitched phenomenally against South Knox. 11 strikeouts in just 5 innings. Congratulations, Jaden. Hunter Mason, he decides to collect a career-high 2 doubles against Washington. They're getting on base at over a .500 clip as a team. They're dominating. Now, we're going to South Putnam, and the Eagles traveled over to North V. They win 10-4. James Bennett dealing on the mound. 8 strikeouts, but Hayden Tencher, man, 5 stolen bases in a single game. Those catchers better be keeping an eye on that kid. Edgewood, baby. Edgewood Mustangs. See, that they've been added to the Dinerverse here later. I think I tried to add them in basketball, but they don't put anything on Max Preps. Shame on you. They split a pair of games. They pitch a 7-0 shutout on Forest Park. Jackson Cosby and Rowan Heineck. If I butchered your name, I apologize. They had perfect bats. And then North Million. Wait. Oh, whatever. I messed that one up. Okay, moving on. Now we're going over Center Grove. Center Grove got added right before baseball season started. I know they're good. They're sitting at 2-0 right now. They start out with an absolute barn burner against Westfield, winning 11-10, and then squeaking past New Palestine 3-2. Braylon Story has been raking early. That's a squad that knows how to win the close ones. So now we're going down to Franklin Central. The Flashes are sitting 2-2. Dropped a couple of tough games at Westfield, but let's look at the bright side. They absolutely obliterated Warren Central 12-2 and shut out Martinsville 13-0. Andrew Jimenez is casually carrying a 500 batting average right now. Myron Collins already has swiped 4 bags. Phenomenal. Dinerverse is doing well right now. And then the majority of the Dinerverse teams haven't even started their season yet. Some Northview had a doubleheader that got rained out early on, so they're coming. Now, we're going to switch over to softball. We're turning the page, as you will. We're going to start off with Terre Haute South. That was a nail-biter. They went toe-to-toe with South Knox and got the dub 6-5. Lake and Hadley was incredible, going 3 and 4 with 2 RBIs and a stolen bag. Samara Newbern had a clutch. Came in the clutch with a big double. So congratulations to South. Now let's go to West Vigo. They took a tough beating from Terre Haute North early on, but turned around and grabbed a beautiful 5-4 win over Robinson. Annabelle Colston is seeing the ball perfectly right now and carrying a 500 batting average. Gracie Davis has already left the yard with a home run. We're going to cross that state line yet again. Richland County is playing very well, sitting at a dominant 5-1 and averaging 10 runs per game. Over 10 runs, you're going to get real technical. Jalen Gwynn doing it all, sitting nearly 500 and has a .7 ERA. That's phenomenal. The Tigers they had their neighbors, Newton. I believe they played each other. No, never mind. I misread. Newton 6-2 on the year so far. They picked up a big 7-1 victory against, mind you, Hudsonville Palestine, making it 7 straight road wins for them dating back to last season. They've won 5 contests by more than 5 runs, and that's just what Eagles do, man. Both Eagles baseball and softball teams, phenomenal. They're doing phenomenal. The Marshall Lions, though, they're on a tear as well. They're sitting at 6-0 right now, and they beat Robinson in a tight 2-0 shutout. Lily Nichols came through with a massive RBI double, and the pitching staff, led by Kyla Gustafson, completely closed the door. When they aren't winning close ones, they're putting up video game numbers. They won 20-0 against Georgetown Ridge Farm. That sounds like a ranch dressing every time I say it. No. All right, we're going back to Indiana. North Putt. Their season debut. They won 20-0 over Eminence. Sophomore Tori Detro put on a pitching clinic right there. 15 strikeouts over 5 innings. No hits, no earned runs. And she went 3 for 4 at the plate with a bomb and 5 RBIs. She's on fire. Bella McCanley and Braylon Boucher also got in on the fun. Keep your eye out on the Cougars. Crawfordsville had a tough rock and roll start on the road, dropping a pair of 16-run games to Riverton Park and Speedway. But Molly Pierce did hit a home run, and Tori Truex is batting a perfect 1,000, or is it 100%? I need baseball people to let me know. Western Boone. They won big against Seeger, 13-2. Mickey Burns, she's cheat code, man. Throwing over 2 innings, no hits, while casually going 3 for 4 at the plate with 2 ribbies. Maddie Monks also running wild like Hulkamania. Had 2 stolen bases, and that's 6 straight victories for Western Boone over the Seeger Patriots. Going down to Clay City, the Eels. They lost their season opener in heartbreaking fashion to Sullivan, 6-5. But don't let that final score fool you. Carly Smith went 2 for 3 with a triple, and Mariah Scott swinging a hot bat with a double and a stolen base. Just keep your eyes on Clay City. They're going to be a problem on defense later this year. North Davies, the Cougars are on an absolute tear. They're 6-1. They dropped a monster 16-0 shutout over the Eastern Green Thunderbirds. Wow. Keep your eyes on them, man. That SWIAC is going to be tough. Now we got Owen Valley. The Patriots hit the road for a tough battle against Bloomington South. They fell just short, 5-4. Aubrey Wells went 2 for 3 with a swipe, and Addie Applegate slapped in an RBI double. So they're getting there. Bloomington South's tough squad, man. South Putt, their home opener against North Vermilion. They won 11-0, 11-0. Eliana Cox went 3 for 3 with a bomb and 2 doubles. Adri Burge went 3 for 3 herself with another home run and 4 ribbies. That's fantastic. Edgewood, they're starting off 3-0 on the season, and they've outscored their opponents 29-1. 29-1. Ella Sproul had 5 RBIs. That's a career high against Indian Creek, and Braylon Bentley threw a shutdown inning while going perfect at the plate against Orleans. And they said there's no talent in the Wabash Valley. There's tons of talent in the Wabash Valley. Golden Arrows, they beat Clay City. They beat Park Heritage by 15. They put up 15 runs on Park Heritage. I don't know the score, I didn't write it down. But 15 runs on Park Heritage. They beat Clay City. Kinsley Wiltermood she's batting over 550. That's fantastic. All right. Riverton Park, baby. They're starting off with some fireworks. They beat Crawfordsville 16-4. Then they fall just short to Greencastle. Greencastle got a good squad. Softball and baseball fall just short 4-3. Aubrey Mormon, she went 3 for 4 at the plate with an RBI and a swipe. Reese Simmons was also dealing on the mound with 7 punch-outs. Covington Trojans, they dropped their season opener to West Lafayette by 4-1. Ashlyn Alexander, though, doing the thing on offense. So just keep your eye on Covington. And then Franklin Central Flashes, baby. We're back in Indy. They sit at 3-1 right now. They blew out Martinsville 15-1. They got a good team batting average of 440. They're averaging 11 runs per game. We're going to see what happens. It's going to be a long season. I didn't realize when I said I'll do 38 baseball and softball teams that there's so many games in 1 week. I was like, whoa. But anyway, final team, Center Grove. They got a tough schedule. They beat Pendleton Heights 11-1. Bryn Meyer, force, man. 3 hits, 3 RBIs. And then Holly Haberstroh went 4 for 4 with 3 RBIs of her own, and she's a freshman. So the Trojans finished that game with 20 hits as a team. Phenomenal. They are a phenomenal team. All right. Now, that does it for the softball. And now we got some track and field. Northview made a massive statement at the inaugural Mayor's Cup. The Lady Knights took first place as a team. Here's some first place finishes for you. 4x800 relay. Noah Minette, Seth Hendricks, Landon Props, Noah Frazier. Landon Props also took first place in the 1600 and the 800. Briar McCluskey took first place in the 110 meters hurdles. And then the 4x1 relay, Keegan Bell, Colton Bass, Zane Scales, and Logan Bell took first place. Hannah Harrison took first place in the mile run. Aubrey Miller took first in the 800 meter. And Carson Buck took first place in the high jump. And then the 4x1 relay for the girls. Layla Mitchell, Hallie Vitz, Mackenzie Heaton, and Brenna Stallcup all took first place. And that does it for the Varsity Special. Now it's time for that rookie report. All right. Sorry, you caught me drinking my water. Got to stay hydrated. A lot to talk about. The USSSA Looney Tunes Bugs Bunny Showdown. That's a mouthful. The Looney Tunes Showdown. Several teams were there. We saw the Riley Rebels were there. So were the 8U Knights, the CYL 8U Knights. And just so you know, they've got runner-up in their division. They start off against the 5-star Indiana, and the Knights win 21-8. Grayson Moss and Brody Weichel, 3 hits, 3 RBIs, a triple, and a home run each. Branson Sanders had 3 hits and 2 ribbies. Creedmoor, Owen McKee, and Owen Schaefer had 3 hits and a ribby. Wesley Cuffle and Benny Foxworthy had 3 hits, and Tate Whitman got a home run. Then the Knights take on the WF Indiana Bandits. The Knights win 15-4. Creedmoor had 2 hits and a double. Broad and Silvers had 2 hits, and Benny Foxworthy got a triple. We're staying in the Looney Tunes Showdown. We're going to the 12U division, Mooresville. The Mooresville 12U team got tongue-tied. They start off against – they were runner-up as well. They didn't send me a picture, though. Thanks a lot, Jeremy. It's all good, though. Love you, brother. Mooresville started off against Boone County Badgers, and the Pioneers win 9-6. Gunnar Wright had a hit, an RBI, and a double, and Izzy Brown had a hit and a ribby. Easton Neely and Izzy Brown had 5 strikeouts each. And then the second game, Mooresville takes on the Venom 12U. Venom wins 9-5. Easton Neely had 2 hits and 2 RBIs. Braden Garman had a double, and Chandler Helton had 7 strikeouts on the mound. Mooresville then takes on the Underdogs. Pioneers win 10-9. Mason Robbins, 2 hits and 3 ribbies. And then he also had 4 strikeouts on the mound. So Mason Robbins did great. But that's what softball, baseball, the youth sports are just starting to pick up. So we'll get more throughout the year. But that does it for the Rookie Report. Now it's time. My favorite part of the show. That's right. It's time for the Red Velvet Power Performers, and here are this week's Power Performers. What did you think of the new Power Performers? I thought it was pretty sweet myself. So congratulations to those Power Performers. Thank you to everybody that sent in information. I've had people reach out, how can we enter the Dinerverse? Well, I'm on Game Changer. I'm on Max Preps almost every day, it seems like. So put your stuff into Max Preps if you're a high school team. Hit me up if you're on Game Changer. Let's keep growing this territory. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And don't miss the wave. Of course, if you miss the wave, I'll still pick you up. So that does it for this week's edition of the U Sports Chat. One more time, I want to thank the sponsors. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, players. Thank you, coaches. Thank you, parents. Thank you, everyone. We're out of here. Keep pushing.